Do you find it difficult to introduce yourself to others? Do you often worry too much about what other people think? Are these types of questions sounding familiar to you? Then you've probably taken the Myers-Briggs personality test either in school or on your own. If you don't remember, these details might ring a bell. The test has 94 questions that ask you to rank your answer on a scale of 1 to 7, from strongly agree to strongly disagree. Your results consist of 4 letters, each standing for a different characteristic of your personality. For example, my personality type, ENTJ, stands for extrovert, intuitive, thinker, and judger. When you received your results, you might have gotten a few characteristics that don't really make sense for you. Maybe you thought you were super outgoing, but your results said you were shy. Or maybe you thought you were pretty flexible, but your results said you were stubborn. This is because the Myers-Briggs test has several accuracy-related flaws. Throughout my own research, I had each of my classmates take the Myers-Briggs test. Some of them were left with the same results as each other, even if they were not alike to the human eye. Also, I had my classmates take the test 4 times on 4 different days. On each day, they received a different result and blamed this outcome on their mood. For example, one day they were feeling very social and talkative, so naturally they received the extroverted trait. The next day, they were feeling more reserved, so they received the introverted trait. Clearly, this test cannot measure anyone's personality on any given day. From the beginning of psychological research on human behavior, the tools and theories to measure personality have never been very accurate. In the early 19th century, phrenology became popular among the public. Tracing back to the ancient age of Aristotle, phrenology is tying one's personality to the shape of their skull. For example, if the individual has a drooping head, they must have a great love for their children. So I checked to see if my parents have drooping heads, which they don't, but I would hope they still love me. Based on my research, to truly measure one's personality, we must look into their family life, friendships, and traumatic experiences. Whether it just be in conversations with our friends or on social media apps like TikTok, most of us have heard of the term original experience. The original experience is the concept that went viral on social media when users started realizing it is rare to find a person who has had an experience that has never happened to anyone else in the world. Users dug up nostalgic memories and made their own videos of their original experiences, and the comments were filled with remarks like, "Not me relating to all of this," or "Why are we all the same people?" shocking the creator. Users continued to make videos like this, and in December of last year, it resorted to this trend. You may recognize this picture from the TikTok trend, where users retell a traumatic story, and as you slide through the video, it gets continuously worse. The comments on these videos are filled with remarks like, "This may have been an original experience." Now you may be wondering, what does the original experience have anything to do with personality? Well, our personalities are built on our own original experiences. What our families figuratively fed us as children contribute to who we surround ourselves with today. For example, when I was 7, I was gifted an iPad, and I found all these games that I played constantly, specifically, Where's My Water? When I was 16, my friends at Episcopal dug up memories of playing Where's My Water, but when I brought up the game to my friends who didn't go to Episcopal, they had no recollection. This is because the families that could afford to go to Episcopal could also afford to gift an iPad to a 7-year-old, while the families who may not have been able to afford such an expensive tuition could not have been able to afford the same iPad during the same time period. So our friends have similar experiences as us based on what our families provide us with as children. While our families shape us during childhood, our friends begin to change us during adolescence. It is commonly known that the more you're around your friends, the more similar you become to them. But this is not always due to peer pressure. It could also occur subconsciously. This subconscious decision happens because our brains pick up social cues from around us to inform our behavior. All my life, my parents have taught me to treat anyone older than me with respect. But when I went to camp the summer before 7th grade, I met this one girl who was super disrespectful to her counselors, yet always ended up getting what she wanted. This behavior started to rub off on me, so I started backtalking more, creating a dent in my relationship with my counselors and friends. When I returned home, I brought this behavior with me. My parents questioned why I act this way and told me I was a completely different person. I was frustrated because I did not intentionally change my behavior. It was because of that subconscious decision. Based on this story, it is clear that there are positive and negative friendship environments. Better quality friendships lead to higher life satisfaction and better mental health because you're provided with the support, understanding, and validation you need from your friends. In comparison, low-quality friendships lead to behavioral issues, and poor academic performance because you are not provided with the support and encouragement you need from your friends. Another type of negative friendship is co-rumination. Co-rumination occurs when friends gather to discuss their life problems and emotions. Although this can create a bond of understanding between friends, it can also spiral them into a depression because they are solely focusing on the traumatic experiences in their lives. These traumatic experiences themselves can have a high impact on one's personality. Take physical abuse, for instance. Victims of abuse can often create coping mechanisms like drug or alcohol use, and if the abuse ever halts, it forever stays with the victim through triggers, which reactivate those coping mechanisms. Take a common example of this is a female victim of child abuse by her father. Say she sees a picture or video of her dad and is in turn reminded of the abuse. She then takes up drinking again and restarts her cycle of alcoholism. Clearly, this is not a healthy cycle. Without a physically safe and psychologically healthy environment to live in, personalities cannot thrive on the path they are meant to follow. In gathering this information, it is clear that no personality test can gather all of these life circumstances. To truly analyze one's personality, we must look into their family life, friendships, and traumatic experiences. When we believe the results of a personality test, we group ourselves into one specific type, when in reality, no two people have the exact same personality. The next time you ask yourself, who am I? Look to the people, places, and events that have made an imprint on you, and you will stand face to face with your answer.